Hello everybody, it is Connor here from the Crow's Nest, and today we're back in Game Maker Studio, but as you may have noticed, this isn't Arcana. What is it, I wonder? Well, I think it's about high time I taught myself the Game Maker language. I've been practicing by prototyping a little demo of it, well not demo, but like a little prototype of a platformer, and it's quite cool. I've been enjoying learning the language, it's quite fun. So we got the reason Walt's up here is in the air is because we got gravity. So when I show you the game, he will flop to the ground, and we got slimes that move back and forth, but we don't actually have any AI programming on them yet. I'm still learning that. So basically, essentially, all we do is we go left and right due to their animation, and yeah, let's show you some of the code, and then we'll get into it. So, with the slime, we'll show you the slime's code first. Essentially, he's just looking out for the player. So if he collides with the player, you take one off of object player slimes, which is the variable slimes in player. Actually, we should start with player, shouldn't we? So, with player, we have a few variables. So we've got H speed, V speed, grav, and walk speed. They're all movement variables. And then we've got items and score. So your items are slimes, which equals 3, and trophies, which equals 0. Slimes are essentially your lives, and trophies are your win state. And I know I should probably name them better, but it doesn't really matter yet. It's just prototyping, so I'm not really bothered what I call the things. Then when we go into the player's movement, we've got quite a few things. So I was following Sean Spaulding's tutorial on the movement, but I added my own code into it as well a bit. So bits I added myself were like the key presses for A and D, so we can move to the side with A and D keys. So obviously we got the key left equals keyboard check OR A, which means it checks for the key A being pressed, or it checks for the left arrow being pressed. And the same with right, only D and right. And then key jump is just space. And then basically we set my movement speed and set left and right to stand still. So hold on, I think I'm missing something there. No, I'm not. What I was, never mind. Basically we set the variable for move to equal key right minus key left. So if you press A and D at the same time, or left and right at the same time, or A and right at the same time, or D and left, or whatever, it will keep you standing still. Then this is some of my own code. So if we basically we've got two if statements with if key right, so the variable up here key right, then the image x scale will be 1, so that means that the image will be flipped to the right. And if key left, then image x scale will be -1, so the image will be flipped to the left. Which basically means that it just changes the player's facing. I'll show you that in a minute. H speed move equals walk speed, so basically that's just setting up the movement here with horizontal speed with move times walk speed, should I say. Then set jump V speed equals V speed plus gravity. Then if statements for checking if we collide with the object. So yeah, that's something I should mention. With Sean Spaulding's video, he mentioned that you should really set collisions in the actual player's code instead of like I would do. Set it to look out for the objects and then set it as a solid. But he mentioned that you should do it in the code, so I did. And you've got the code for collisions and jump speed and stuff like that, and then horizontal speed as well, and vertical speed, and that's basically the code for that. Then we've got the draw GUI, which again is the same as what I was doing in Arcana. So obviously in Arcana we had the drag and drop, obviously, but we still used the draw sprite function and the draw text function. It was just through the drag and drop functions. So that basically draws the sprite enemy slime and draws the sprite trophy at frame 15, and then the X and Y coordinate, and then at frame 1 for trophy, and at the X and Y coordinates again. Draw text at at X and Y coordinates, and then the variable slimes instead of typing in slimes or whatever. So yep, that's that. So it'll essentially draw the whatever the variable of slimes is, which is when we can get into the slime object, which is basically, if you remember in player here, is it? Yes, here. Slimes equals 3. So if we go into a slime, once the player collides with the slime, it destroys the slime, minuses 1 from the slime score, and then if object player dot slimes, which is if the player's variable slimes equals to 0, so if it's equal to 0, then room restart. So that resets the level essentially, and also will show a debug message when we hit the slime saying the slime score. That's essentially what that does, and then trophy is similar instance, looks for the player, instance destroy and adds a trophy to it. That's simple, really. And the final thing I'm going to show you, because that's obviously we got the warp code from the Arcana game, so we don't need to show you that. But the final thing to show you is the object reset, which you will see at the bottom of the screen, and I'll show you what it does. So essentially, it just restarts the room. So if you collide with that, you go back to the start of the level, essentially. So if we go into room 1, you'll see that this is the level we've got at the minute, and if you hit this pink stuff down here, you reset to here. So, finally, I suppose I've shown you all the code, so what we should do, we should have a look at the game, shouldn't we? And just see what we've prototyped so far. So, as I was saying, I would show you the image X scale that I was showing you. As you can see, he falls down there. Just maximize this. So, yeah, if I press left, he faces left. If I press right, he faces right. If I go to this slime here, and I walk onto him, he disappears and my slime score goes to 2 instead of 3. And if I do that again with, let's say, this slime... Oh god, I did the wrong one. So if I do that again, it goes to 1. And then finally, if I go to this one, I reset because I've died, essentially. That needs to be hearts, really, and it needs to be lives. But, yep, so there we go, 1. So we collected 1 slime and lost 1 life. And then if I do this and jump over here, there we go. Then I can collect 1 more, down to 1 life, but I can also collect the trophy. And there we go, 1 trophy, and here we go, we'll stand on there and reset. And also the final thing I managed to do, actually I should show you collisions as well. So obviously, can't walk through the wall, can't walk through there, but you can jump and stuff like that. And finally, the last thing I'll show you is obviously set. There we go. So, one more thing I will show before we end the episode today, is I can change my gravity. If I change this slight to 0.5, let's change it to 0.5, then this will increase the gravity on my player, so I shouldn't be able to jump as high. I can, but it's faster. Oh, god. So, yeah, I can't jump as high now, so I can't actually mech it up there. So, if I now change it back to if I change it to 0.4, for example, I want to show you a falling with it. So if I change it to 0.4, and we jump up here, So if you notice the floatiness of the falling in the last state of it, when it's at 0.2, if we now go down like that, we fall a lot faster. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Obviously you can't fall through there because of the collision box. I need to change that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, guys. Can't jump up there, so it does need to be at 0.2. So let me just change that back before I forget. And then, essentially as well, we can change the walk speed. If we change this to 7, for example, I think it was at 4 before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was at 4 before. So, what we'll do, change it to 7, and look, we walk a lot faster now. That's actually quite nice speed. Ah! Bit too fast. Alright then, guys, so that's my progress that I've been doing this week in Game Maker. Actually, I only started doing it yesterday. I've taken a bit of time off this week. Again, I know I shouldn't be doing that, but I have done. I started doing this yesterday, and yeah, I managed to get it quite far in the time that I have spent on it. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this little look at my prototyping programming, then yes, leave a like and a comment. And also, big news, if you have stuck around to this point, then you will get to hear it. I didn't mention it purposely at the beginning, because it's meant to be for you to stick around. So, if you want to play Arcana in its current state, there will be a link to the itch page in the description down below. Now, I only have done this because I want feedback, because I'm a bit stuck on what to add next. So if you want to play Arcana and play the first level of Arcana, then go ahead and play it and download it on the itch page down below, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Remember to leave your feedback either on the itch page or in the comments of any video on my channel, and until next time, guys, I've been Connor from the Crow's Nest, and I'm